Hi, I'm Randy Hollenbeck, and this is the Music Roundtable. Today on the show, we have post-hardcore band Valoria.
Hey, hey.
If you knew how to save it, would things still be the same? Would you want it to change me? I never wanted to be part of you.
Can you guys introduce yourself and what instrument you play?
Okay. I'm Joey. I do vocals.
I'm Justin, and I do a mix of guitar, saxophone, and a little bit of backup vocals.
And I'm Ricky, and I play just guitar.
Okay. What sparked your interest in getting into music in the first place? Was it like a band, a guitarist in the past, a song? What made you want to pursue music?
For me, my family has been around, pretty much over around musically inclined. With my parents were singers, and I just started out pretty early. Joining a glee club and just singing to my favorite tunes, and just being able to adapt and practice my craft. And I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with the performance. I fell in love with the action to be up there on a stage and just to express yourself in any way possible, shape or form you want to. And that's what got me into music.
And so for me, it started, when I was super young. I think my parents got me a little play toy keyboard thing, and I guess my mom would have like some radio on, or she'd be listening to some artist, and I guess I would go over to the keyboard and I would like try to match the melody, whatever the singer, the chorus melody, and I'm trying to follow along playing on the keyboard. And I knew absolutely nothing about music, but I guess there was something sort of instilled in me. And so fast forward through fourth grade and fifth grade, when they start introducing music through school, and I started picking up a couple instruments. That's when I started picking up saxophone, and I just really enjoyed playing that. And then as I got older into sort of middle school and high school, and now I'm starting to create my own sort of musical taste, I'm getting introduced to more bands and then going to my first concerts and stuff like that. And I think some of the first concerts that I went to, seeing sort of live music perform, just kind of like really hit something in me, where I was like, there's just like something really magical about this. And I'm in this room with a ton of strangers, but I feel like we were all sort of connecting something. And I thought that was like something really powerful. So I think that just kind of inspired me to want to continue doing music, as much as I can.
And for me, I grew up in a household that played music from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. So it was always, as a kid, I can remember hearing bachata or salsa, or just the radio playing in the background while somebody was cooking. So growing up, it was just the music was always there. And as I started to grow up, I started to find my path in other music, just because I had such a expansive knowledge from the household that I was brought up in. So then it just led me down this path of more curiosity that led me to a band. Honestly, I was more curious about what other sounds are out there, and I kind of fell in my place here.
Okay. Can you name a few of your musical influences?
For me, As Cities Burns, big influence from old Under Oath to new Under Oath. Let's see, one of my favorite ones I'd love to play with, Emery. Emery is actually one of my big influences as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I definitely grew up listening to a lot more in like sort of the pop punk rock side of things. So the everything that sort of blew up in sort of the Warped Tour era. Any of those Warped Tour, whether it was Yellow Card, A Day to Remember, Amberlin, Seosin. A lot of those bands kind of really spoke to me, and so I still take inspiration from those groups today.
For me, it's probably like early stages would be like The Used was probably one of my first concerts. I didn't even realize I was going to see The Used. I was actually going to see Atreyu, and they just blew me away. And that made me want to start like a power pop punk band or whatever, an emo band. So it was cool to see that kind of energy up on stage. And it's like Avenged Sevenfold, Coheed and Cambria. That's really just kind of started the path I'm on.
Okay. How did Valoria form?
This is
No, so it boils down to, it was actually Rick who kind of the way we kind of tell the story is that Rick was sort of the Nick Fury of the band. He was the one that sort of assembled us. We had all been within the local music scene within our area. We've all been in previous projects, and Rick sort of pieced and picked us together, and just we kind of formed that way. I had met Rick a few years ago, and we were in different bands, and I think it just kind of like, hey, here's a contact, we're looking for someone, and it all just kind of assembled that way for the most part.
It was one of those things that I had a vision, and everybody was like really cool with hanging out, and we wrote good music while we did it, so we were like, oh, might as well, heck yeah. So everybody had the same vision, like after having the same one conversation with each other. So we all just kind of like put our feet in the ground and took a step forward.
Yeah, and it came naturally. To all of us. We all sat in one room. I think it was the beginning of the pandemic. We were stuck in a basement for quite a while, just writing music, and we just had to be there. There were no escaping. We just had to get to know each other and know our strengths and our weaknesses, and play along that, and try to create something, which was very interesting. And yeah, that's how we came to be.
And here we are.
How did you come up with the band name?
So, Valoria, from the Latin word valor, means honor and represents bravery. So, we just put a twist in the name in itself, and in Valoria in itself, it represents us as musicians, to be brave in what we do in performances, and to hold ourselves prideful of where we came from. So all of us coming from all different bands and different walks of lives really came together, and I felt it was a good representation of that name. So,
what city are you based out of?
Providence. We're based out of Providence, Rhode Island.
How's the music scene up there?
It's a mix. It's surprising. A lot of genres are coming back here. From the early 2000s, started off with emo, metalcore, and kind of dwindled down a little bit. Then went from grind, and now it's legit. At this moment in time, just it's history repeating itself now. A bunch of younger people are playing emo stuff and like house shows. It's a mix right now, and I'm just really pumped. It's better than it was a couple of years ago. Well, when it was in its prime back in the early 2000s, it's coming up to that full extent. What would you say?
I mean, I think it's just that there's a lot of bands. There's a lot of people excited to go out and play and be a part of shows, go to shows, and so there's a lot of bands just excited to go out and play. And you can walk around and find tons of different spots playing all different bits of music, all different styles of music. So there's a lot out there for anyone who's looking to go out and enjoy themselves.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of good talent in Providence. So going to a show is always a good time if you're looking to see good music. So I think that's the other thing too, is that going out and seeing bands, you're actually being like, wow, this is great quality music, and the people are always hanging around and willing to talk. So,
and again,
everybody's pretty close.
Yeah, it's a mix of everything overall. You'll catch it from metalcore to emo, grindcore, pop punk, ska. Everything's in Rhode Island. It's a good place to play.
Okay. I wanted to talk about a couple of your songs. You have translations, and I just have to ask you how you decide to use a saxophone in that song.
That wasn't even. I don't even think that. So that wasn't the hard part. I don't think. I think it was more just like it was an idea. It was like kind of one of those things that I think Justin was like, we could be a little different. We could do something a little different here, and we always want to surprise everybody. We don't want to be like, oh well, we're just gonna throw the saxophone at the end of the song like we do in Homebound. So I think this one was kind of like fun to just be like, oh, here it is, and it catches you off guard, but then you want to listen to more.
Yeah, I think the original inspiration for saxophone sort of even being introduced wasn't right out the gate when we started the group and started first sort of practicing and writing music together. It was, we were writing the song Homebound, which is the last track on our EP, Dead Languages, and we were working on the outro, and we're listening back and forth, and we're noodling with a bunch of different things. We're like, something's missing here. We need something, but it's got to be something you just wouldn't expect. And I think it was Dino, our bassist, who kind of was like, yeah, it should just be something totally random, like a saxophone. And I was like, well, I could do that. And everyone just like, it's like, ha ha ha, that's hilarious. And I was like, no, seriously, I play saxophone. We could try this. And
he came in a one take.
Came in, brought next practice, showed up, and we just that basically ended up becoming the part that's on that track. And so once we saw the power of that, I think that's what inspired us to say, hey, every song we approach, we don't want to overdo anything. We don't want to there's a lot of, since we have a diverse sort of background and inspiration, there's a lot that we want to explore. So we don't want to sort of necessarily narrow down and say, hey, let's just do this one thing over and over again. But when it came to working on translations, as the song was writing and coming together, we were like, this might be another cool opportunity for saxophone, just to have a little something there to kind of break up from everything else in the song. So I think it just kind of came from that.
The rest is history.
You had another song called Wanderers, and you have VRSTY play on that with you. How did that collaboration come about?
Rick, you want to take that?
Yeah, so when the very early stages of the band, we were still kind of finding an identity, and we were I was connected to another band, and we had done some traveling in New York. And along the way, we had played a show together, and him and I just became, Facebook friends, or we just became friends just in general. And then maybe a year or two, maybe going like what, 2021 is when we did that. 2020,
2022, maybe 2021. Yeah. So,
yeah. So randomly, we were kind of like, oh, the song, sounds like it needed a feature, and we were throwing out ideas. And at the time, they hadn't signed. I don't think they had signed to Sharp Tone just yet, or whatever the label. I think they're Sharp Tone. They hadn't signed to the label yet, so we had asked, and he was like, "Yeah, man. Like, they lived in New York. We were recording in New York, so it was an easy kind of commute for each other." And then he came in for that one day, and just fell in our lap.
You cannot escape those things you felt. You say you would save me, but instead you held me down. Try to hold me back, but now I'm coming for the crown. Just look at the things that you've done. You probably think that you won. You think you're clever, but I wouldn't ever let you get away with the sun. I found my way through the dark. Let the devil in my heart. This is the answer. Start calling your friends. No, I would never let you
Uh, what do you got planned for this summer?
This coming June, we're going to be doing a little run through, a weekender with Paralandria. And so for the 7th, we're going to be playing Connecticut BRX with our good friends Gina Fritz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the 8th, we're going to be in Rochester, continuing the run, the weekender with Paralandria, and ending it off in Southbridge, right?
Southbridge, Mass.
Yeah.
Yep. And then, so we've got that weekend, which we're really excited about because we get to we had crossed paths with Paralandria in the past, and that's kind of how this weekender came together. So really excited about that. And then we are playing at Capulet Fest in Connecticut later in the month. June 29th, the Saturday. We'll be playing there. So that's really exciting. Really, there's a crazy list of bands that are playing there. So we're really, really excited to be a part of that. I think that's going to be a ton of fun. And then we're also playing another music festival later in the summer, July 27th. We're playing at Brewstock Fest, which is down in Gastonia, North Carolina. So we'll be making our way down there, and we've never played down in North Carolina yet. So that'll be like the furthest we've kind of played outside of our sort of New England area. So we're really excited about that as well. And then obviously we're also looking to, we're continuing to pad out the rest of the year and looking to play more shows. But that's what we have currently slated for the summertime.
Okay. And do you got any plans for any new music or anything?
Yeah, I mean, we've been working really hard, working on writing a bunch of new material. So can't really say any specifics at this point, but we do have, we do have a ton of material sort of in the works, stuff ready to go, and we're excited to kind of start getting some new material out to everyone.
Okay. How can we get a hold of you? Facebook, Instagram?
Yeah, I mean, you can follow us and reach out to us at We Are Valoria. That's on TikTok, on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook. We're pretty good about keeping track of all of those platforms. We have a YouTube channel.
That's all the major ones for it.
Yeah, I think that's all the main ones.
Yeah, email from somebody if you want to get us.
Reverb Nation.
Yeah, you can find us on Eventbrite. You can probably find us in the white pages.
Yeah, the white pages or yellow ones.
All the yellow,
The yellow pages.
Depending on the service you need.
Yeah, so we're everywhere you can find us. At Valoria or at We Are Valoria.
Okay. That's all the questions I have. Thanks for coming on the show today. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I don't think anything in particular. Thank you for having us. It's really awesome to let us sit here and chat for a little bit. It's a blast. We really do enjoy it. We're looking forward to all these shows that we were just talking about and the rest of the year. We're keeping super busy, and yeah, we're just really excited to enter the next phase of Valoria and see how everyone sort of reacts to the things that we have coming and the plans we have and the direction and all that stuff. So yeah, we're just really excited.
Yeah, no,
Anything?
I'm just ready to be up there. I'm really just to go crazy. I'm ready just to put on a Valoria performance.
Put on a show.
It's
ready for a show.
Ready for all the shows. I'm ready for everything, and I'm just so pumped to see, to spread out our fans and to go into new places, experience new things, and just to have people alongside the journey with us. And yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yep.